We have a very special guest with us this morning, somebody whose story is not only historic, but deeply inspiring. Jennifer Jones made national headlines as the first African American Radio City Musical Hall Rockette, breaking barriers on one of the biggest stages in the world. She's also a Tony Award winner, an accomplished actress, and the author of two acclaimed books that bring her journey of resilience, representation, and artistry to a new generation. Her life has touched Broadway, literature, dance, and now young readers all across the country. And she continues to shine as a proud New Jerseyan making history. Jennifer Jones, welcome to On New Jersey Mornings. Great to have you on.
Oh, thank you for having me, Ken. Good morning.
Good morning. And it's funny, I hate to say it. I hate to say it. I saw in your bio that we are the same age. And I'm like, how is it that you look like you're 30 years old? God bless you. You are stunning, gorgeous.
Thank
Anyway,
you.
excuse me. I'm Beautiful lady. All right, you are a legendary trailblazer. You shattered racial barriers. You were the first African American Rockette. And I was reading how they didn't tell you you were the first African American Rockette, right? When it happened, tell us about that moment.
No. I got a call from Violet Holmes, and she offered me the Super Bowl 22 halftime show. I was 20 years old. It was my first big offer, and I actually said, "Can I call you back?" So I took a walk around the block, absorbed this good news, and I called her back and I accepted the job. It wasn't until a few days later on the 11 o'clock news that I would learn that Radio City hired their first Black woman. And I said, I wonder who that is. And I would later learn that it was me.
That's what a great story. That is a fantastic story. My gosh. And I mean, I can't even look, I used to work for Channel 7. I remember getting that call. For me, that was, huge. But for you, I mean, the Rockettes are known everywhere on the planet. That is, there's such a tiny group of humans who could ever lay claim to that. So that must have been like an incredible feeling.
It was surreal. I went to New York because I love to dance. Ever since I was a little girl, my parents were big Broadway goers, and I actually fell in love with the stage when they took me to see The Wiz. And there was a reflection of mirror images of myself with Stephanie Mills, Mabel King, Hinton Battle, and they took my sister and me to see that show 5 times. And each time I became more entranced with the stage, and we would wait at the backstage door for their autographs. And I knew at 9 years old that I wanted to do what they do on that stage, and I want to walk out of a backstage door. And I feel so blessed that I got to dance at a landmark theater, Radio City Music Hall, and walk out of those golden backstage doors on the 51st Street side for 15 years.
Wow, that is so huge. And ease on down the road. I mean, I remember when The Wiz first came out. I only saw it once, but it was just an amazing show, and it was on Broadway for a lot of years. I have to ask you, when those stars came out of those doors, and you were a little 9-year-old girl, did you get to meet them, and what kind of impact did that have? Obviously, it had an impact. So, talk about what it was like to meet them.
Absolutely. It was like they were meant to be there. And that's what I loved about it. They were just hanging out at the backstage door. They were signed our playbill without hesitation. And that made me think, oh, you know, that is so amazing. Like they were superstars to me, and they were so willing to give back to a young child, and having that impact. And I hope to have that impact on children today. And that's one of the reasons why I wrote a children's book, to inspire kids to go after their dreams no matter what. Even though challenges may come up, follow that inner heart and that inner passion and go for it.
There you go. And the book is On the Line, My Story of Becoming the First African American Rockette. So that's great that you wrote this. And my guess is the moment you met those stars, that could have
Mm.
made or broken you, right? Because if these, sometimes you think, oh, they have attitude, they don't say hello, and they're not nice to the kids. Or in this case, if they're nice and supportive, that changes your whole outlook on the future, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Words carry so much weight, no matter what age in life. It really takes a lot to inspire children and to really listen to them. And I think that when we choose our words carefully and when we can support our youth and the next generation coming up, is means everything, not only to giving to that child, but they receive that and they can give forward even more in their lives.
Amazing. And Jennifer, your book is now part of the Library of Congress Children's Book
Mm.
Collection. It's going to be featured at the 2025 National Book Festival in the New Jersey State booth. I mean, how did that incredible honor come about? Talk about that.
Oh, so it came from New Jersey Center for the Book. My book was nominated to represent the state of New Jersey, and I'm so thrilled that I got a chance to experience that opportunity. And just knowing that my book carries weight and inspires children, that they really get so much to learn from. There's so many different themes throughout the book. I go to schools and I do school readings, and teachers actually love it because there are so many different things to pull from. And what one of the things that I love to do is talk to the children, and some of the things that they get from the book and what they want to do with their lives is just so magical and inspirational. And I just love doing that.
That's amazing. And you follow the success of that book with another one, Becoming Spectacular, The Rhythm of Resilience. Talk about the new release and how it builds on your message of perseverance.
I wanted to really document my history making of becoming the first Black Rockette. A lot of people have reached out to me and wanted me to talk about it, and I felt it necessary to put everything down in black and white. And it's also talks about my whole life and all the challenges, all the triumphs, and what I want people to take away from it is that everyone has a resilience. There are challenges in life, and no matter what, we can persevere. I do talk about my colorectal cancer battle, and I think I'm a staunch advocate for screenings and early detection because cancer can be preventable.
I have a very dear friend who unfortunately passed this year of colorectal cancer, and she was a
I'm
nurse,
sorry.
and she was busy helping everybody else and did not take care of herself. And but she, toward the end, she made sure she advocated and just said, "Make sure you don't do what I did, and make sure you go out
Yes,
there and get checked. It's just too easy to get an exam, and they have exams." Non-invasive today too, so we have to stay on top of it.
absolutely.
Well, it's a landmark year, the 100th anniversary of Radio City Music Hall Rockettes. How is this milestone gonna be celebrated, and what does it mean to you personally? We're down to our last minute.
Radio City invited former Rockettes to Radio City Music Hall for a get together and to see the show. And there were 700 of us, former Rockettes, plus the current Rockettes. And we got a chance to talk and reminisce and see the beautiful show, which is
Love
a
it.
part of family's traditions still today.
Fantastic. Oh, quickly, give us your website too for the Dancing Jen doll.
Yes, you can find Dancing Jen at www.rockettejen.com.
Tony Award winner Jennifer Jones, God bless you. Merry Christmas. Thank you for coming on this morning, and just have a wonderful life. You are just an amazing inspiration.
Thank you. Thank you, Ken. Merry Christmas.